Entrepreneurship will suck when you don't understand the variables that affect your specific industry. It depends on what you're in. I don't know. Now, you should not pick an industry that has too many external variables that can harm that industry. What do I mean by that? Well, when I got into real estate, I realized everybody was going to buy and or sell and or rent something. I got into residential real estate. I got into commercial real estate. I got into property management. I did rentals. There were real estate agents that would say to me, "What about being a terrible entrepreneur?" Entrepreneurship is going to suck when you don't diversify and you set yourself up. In 08, in 01, 02, 03, 2000, some of you are like way too young, you don't even know what I'm talking about. 2001, 2002, 2003, you would never have convinced me the market would crash in 08. It was too good. But guess what? When the market crashed, I did really well. I didn't want it to crash. Rental market went through the roof. I was in the rental market. I was in the sales end, residential. I was in the commercial end. I had a bunch of buyers. I had a bunch of investors. So my rental market went through the roof. My rental business went through the roof. I had a property management company. They paid me to manage the properties. Oh my God, I had a lot of investors that wanted to get in the game as properties were being foreclosed on. And once the dust settled, we figured out what to do with banks. I had a really good year. I also decided I'd get into life insurance. Why? Everybody's going to die. I like simple, duplicatable, predictable, but you have to understand in your industry what can get you, what variables can control you. Can the government come up with one policy change that can make your product null and void? Where's the regulation? How much regulation is there in your industry? Will it become less regulated? Will it become more regulated? When I was in real estate, there were places I would not buy houses. Why? The regulation. I'm like, dude, you can't work there and do an investment property. You can't. The permitting's out of control. You don't roll into some of these big cities in America not knowing what you're doing and enter into these projects. That's why the majority of these massive projects are done by a very small group of people. Why? It's a very, very arduous process to get permitting, get approvals. It's a different ball game. I had a guy in Brooklyn, New York buy a property that was right near the train station, and the dude had no idea what he was doing and way over his head, started doing work without properly vetting it, engineering, and boom, did the wrong deal, project shut down for 10 years. It happens all the time. You have to know your industry. You have to know what your hurdles are. You have to know what can harm you. You have to know what can shut you down. If you don't know what your obstacles are, your potential enemies, your potential impediments to what you're trying to do, entrepreneurship is going to suck. If you don't know, ask. And if you find somebody that gives you nothing to worry about, nothing that's negative, nothing to avoid, if it's an industry that has no risk, then it's mythical. There is not any business out there in the world that comes with zero risk. Ponzi schemes do. When you lie about something, the guy's like, I ain't no risk, just give me your money, we're all gonna get rich. There's an oil field out there. If it's not a con, it has risk. Now, the con has risk, you lose all your money. But to the guy pitching it or girl pitching it, there's no risk to them. There's no real business. But you have to know how you can get hurt. If you don't, entrepreneurship is going to hurt and it's going to suck for you.